Just a brief comment here. The candidates here, Al Hoop is running as an incumbent in the 4th Ward and unopposed. The rest of the candidates are all write-ins, so if you want to vote for them, you will have to remember their names and write it in on your ballot and fill in the circle so that your vote will count. Joel Greer is running in the 2nd Ward as a write-in candidate, and he is unopposed. There's a candidate that will be on the ballot that is not running, and so it'll be a little confusing. Then the next 4 candidates are all running as write-in candidates for an at-large position. All 4 of those will be running for the same seat, and you will be able to only vote for one of them. It looks to me like they're all good candidates, and so again, once you figure out who you want to vote for, make sure you bring it and know how to spell their name, what their name is, so that you can get it on the ballot and people will know who you're voting for.
Yes, we do have businesses coming and going in the downtown area, but the small businesses, that's not so much a problem. We're able to get those into the downtown area. It's the retail that I think a lot of people would like to try and get down there, and that all has to do with working with MEDIC, the Chamber of Commerce, the city, and also the Convention and Visitors Bureau, because it's up to them to try and make this place look attractive, bring people in here, you know, say, hey, I wouldn't mind coming here and opening up a business. You know what I mean? Second of all, another thing that they talked about that could probably be utilized now. One of the big things that they looked at opportunity-wise, the people that spoke, is they didn't feel that there was enough communication between the public and local officials. And that's where I think maybe it could be looked at, maybe have a town forum, a town hall type meeting at least once a year. That way you're getting all kinds of ideas from people throughout the area. They can all get together, speak with the local officials, like maybe in here, like a round table type deal.
I've always been in favor, and I was last time around, of doing a bond to start the improvements to the streets in Marshalltown. But one thing I want to make sure everybody understands, I've got a copy of last year's financial report for the city, and the city receives $2.29 million a year in road use tax money. So basically $2.3 million a year comes to this city for tax from road use tax. And then that's split up into projects that the city can legally use that for. I think if we're going to bond for roads, I don't have a big problem with that as long as we've got a long-range plan to use a fair amount of the road use tax to maintain them once we get them there. I don't want to sell a bunch of bonds, build a bunch of roads, and then forget them for 30 years. If that's the plan, I'm not in favor of it. I think we have to make sure that the plan is that we bond, we build the roads, and we also at the same time have a maintenance plan on how we're going to maintain them in the next 20 or 30 years, so 30 years we don't have to do this again.
I attended the last Marshalltown CBD meeting at which we were told that Ottumwa and Fort Dodge had just made some significant contributions to having Kohl's move in there as a department store, and in one case it was a 17-year TIF grant. That sort of thing hurts too much and probably doesn't have a good payout over time. I love Kohl's, by the way. They just gave the American Cancer Society Midwest Division a $5 million grant for breast cancer. It's quite the progressive store, but I wouldn't want to be doing that kind of a TIF at that kind of a level here in Marshalltown, even though it would be nice to have a Kohl's store. In terms of the private sector funding, I love the initiative that we had at Marshalltown when we were able to entice the Youngstown, Ohio Lennox operations here. That was a good partnership of city, county, and private funding. And the same sort of thing happened when we got the Community Y and the city to shake hands on the Aquatic Center. We went after the Vision Iowa grants. Again, we used the bonding authority that the city and county had. Great projects that we had that our kids and grandkids are going to benefit for years from. That's all.
Thank you.
I really love this town, and I have since want to do everything I can to help see it grow and be involved with it. I love politics, but not to do it as a game or anything, but yet just I like being involved. I have been married 30-some years. I get in trouble every time I try to think how many years. 3 kids. My oldest son manages and runs the Iowa Telecom or Windstream in Newton. My 2 other kids work at Lennox, have 7 grandkids, and all neat families. And been involved with JCs, which learned a lot of leadership ideas and community involvement. Been involved with Iowa River Hospice for 6-7 years and really learned compassion and how to give up to others. And I've always loved doing things for other people and seeing what I can do. And I take pride in a lot of that, and I wish a lot of people out there would realize there's plenty of opportunities for volunteering and doing things for this city.
My biggest thing is downtown. I think that as we grow to the outside of town, we sometimes forget about what goes on downtown. And I don't care whether it's retail or if it's office space or what it is. I just think that downtown dictates a lot of what the appearance of the whole town is. Along with that, entrances in and out, and I think the appearance of town, the cleanliness of town, I don't know if you can dictate that, but there certainly has to be some kind of standards that have to be present. So those 2 things are real important. Third thing I think is the most important, though, is it's not that we don't support our police and fire department. I just think that there's a lot of local concerns that can be addressed by focusing on making sure our police department has everything they need, maybe not want, but everything they need and everything we can do to keep the community safe. And the fire department is just another part of that.
Right now, we have what money we're given each year amounts to that we could do maybe 1 or 2 streets. And this year we did the Anson Street, and that's it. At that rate, you would never ever make any progress. I've been a proponent of the bond issue for streets for the last 2 years. I've been pushing it as much as I can, and I finally got some responders. And I think we're doing the 2.38 million is left over that we could bond this year. And then next spring we would do $5 million, and then the next spring we could do 5 more. And that keeps us within a certain amount. That keeps us within our range that we can afford with what we're paying right now.
Thank you. That's the end of the forum here. First of all, I would like to take the opportunity to thank these candidates and all of you. I wish you would thank them too. Thank you. I think we have a great slate of candidates. It's going to be a difficult choice for everybody on Election Day. If there's people out there that weren't here or that haven't heard it, encourage them to check it out on television, and so they can see what the candidates are thinking and what they're going. The chamber is honored to provide this for the city, and hope that you all enjoyed it and found something worthwhile in it. With that, all of you go and enjoy your evening. Thank you.